Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Paths to Nowhere. So, as always, I am much more picky than my past self, so I just see a few things that I want to clean up down here. Just some small things. The first one being that I noticed that this shadow area at the base of the bangs here was not round enough. And so it was not looking quite as good as it could when coming down from there. I don't think that this is quite right either, but it's a little bit better. I just need to find the right combination of, I don't know, roundness and straightness, I guess. That tends to be how a lot of these things go. Unfortunately, I'm moving a small enough area that I can kind of get away with using the brush a little bit more. And I can just go back in and clean up like this as needed in order to get the line looking nice and smooth and straight. It's also possible that this shadow right here is a little bit too short, but I want to test that real quick before I go in and start making some assumptions. But yes, I do believe that is also true. And also the base is weirdly wrinkly and I don't like it. So Infinity Nikki released yesterday. Or I guess for me it would be today because it released after I went to bed. But got to play it a little bit this morning, only for like 20 minutes or so. But it is very pretty, so I'm excited to go derp around in it some more today. May or may not take some pictures. We'll see if anything catches my eye. With games like this, I tend to hold off on taking too many pictures until I find a nice outfit to go take pictures in. So it'll be whatever I happen to feel like wearing there. But I'm very excited to play some more today. I'm still going to insist on drawing a little bit after stream because I've got some stuff I need to get done. But I will definitely be very eager to play some more. The Nikki series is kind of unique in what it does. I've never really seen just dress-up games quite like that one. Most of the time they tend to be a bit simpler and don't really try to include some gameplay elements, for better or for worse. Like with the way the gameplay in the previous Nikki games shook out, I don't think it really needed to be there for the most part. But, still, it's kind of interesting to see. So, I'll be curious to see what we can do with that. I do think that a mashup of, Breath of the Wild, Genshin Impact clone, and dress-up game is actually a pretty good one. Just from a design perspective. Because half the point of these games is just to run around and take pretty pictures. And so if you have pretty scenery to do that in, pretty scenery where half the point is to go run around and actually explore it and discover it, I actually think that is a good idea. So I'm curious to see what they do with it. Like I said, it's just a very different kind of experience, so not one that I see very often. So I've been looking forward to playing it. So let's see, today in Rigging Land, what do I want to be moving on to? Besides the few corrections that I want to make on the bangs here. I think today is going to be this area over here. Because so far I do like what I did with the side bang here, just, the top of it. Because I always like to do the top in the area by the roots before I move on to, down each strand. I just find it easier to get the base and how it all sits on her head figured out before I worry about how it moves downward from there. So yes, I do think that today will be how this all connects over here. And maybe over here, we'll see. We'll see what my brain wants to do. If it wants to go back and forth, I'll let it. Let it focus, or get distracted as much as it wants today. It's already very much elsewhere. Because like I said, I'm looking forward to playing a new game. And so my brain is just going to be thinking, oh man, new game. That's just where it's going to be today, but that's okay. I can still get some stuff done. And I'll try not to drone on and on about that, even though it's very much where my brain is right now. Oh, although it also occurs to me that today's the 5th, which means that tomorrow is when the results from Path to Nowhere's 2nd anniversary art contest are going to be announced. So I'll get to see how I did there. Looking forward to that too. Regardless of the outcome, I had an absolute blast drawing that picture, so it was worth doing it regardless, and I'm glad it gave me the motivation to draw something super complicated. I get the feeling it might be the last super complicated thing I draw for a while. Just because my brain has been thinking about comics and stuff again. And in order to draw comics, you actually need to simplify your style and be able to draw it very, very quickly. And that does not lend itself well to big, complicated illustrations like that. So right now I'm just thinking of how to make things simple and very, very stylish. I have ideas. You will see them in my weekly speed paints, and possibly more often. Depends on how long it takes me to finish Christmas gifts. Yeah, I definitely want to finish up Christmas gifts before I do too many other things. Just because I do like doing nice things for the people in my life. They're pretty great, so they deserve nice things. So I like to put a lot of effort into the stuff that I make for them. Go give nice things to the nice people in your life. I'm sure that they'll appreciate it too. Alright, there we go. I think the bangs are looking much better now. Still haven't fixed this part, but I think I'll do that once I start getting into the side bang over here. So I am not too concerned with it for the time being. I just want to jump right into the tunnel area and start working my way down there. Ah, yes, and now I see where I started wondering, the highlights actually look kind of good when I stretch them out like this. And I haven't decided if I want to keep them yet. It's like I did not do that for the left view. So if I did that here, I'd have to edit the left view somewhat. Very doable, though. I should not let my laziness stop me from making something that looks really cool. As tempting as it is, it's never worth it. It's always worth it to put in the little bit of extra effort to just make things better. Or at least I think it is. Because regardless of whether it looks better objectively or through whatever metric you want to use, it makes me happy. And I think that's what really matters. Seeing things come together like this really just... it does make me very happy. To an extent, I think that's what art should be. Just something that goes out and makes you happy. Alright, tunnel time. Let's see. What exactly did I want to do with you? I got distracted by something and ended up fixing a couple of other things before I came in to fix this. So I would need to double check it again. There's a lot to look at. It's easy to get distracted. It's okay. I just need to go look again and I'll remember exactly what I wanted to do. Okay. Just want to make the arch of the tunnel here a little bit nicer looking. Even right here, I don't know, it still looks a little bit weird. Yesterday I was paying more attention from the bottom here and going to the left, and now I'm paying a little bit more attention from the left and going down. It's important for both to look good. And at some point I'll want to check it from the center as well. But I just remember, as I keep checking that, I just keep seeing things from areas that I haven't worked on yet. So there just hasn't been much point in looking too closely at the diagonal. Because I'll just see a bunch of things that I already know are wrong and I haven't touched, and at that point it's like, okay, we'll worry about it just a little bit later. Kind of why I wanted to get kind of these areas in the front here and then up in the side bank done before I worry about the stuff more toward the back of her head. That way I can start paying a bit more attention to the diagonal. Because right now when I look at the diagonal, it's like, yeah, it's definitely wrong. I mean, it's definitely moving a bit strangely. But the places where I see it the most is right around here. And I just have not touched those yet. But in the areas that I've actually done, like around the bangs and this area kind of over here, I don't think it looks that bad. And kind of try to focus in on that area a little bit, and I see some stuff that looks kind of like compression around here. So that might be something worth looking into a little bit more. And just kind of some small stuff like that. But it's just way too easy to get distracted by some of those things further up that are just more obviously wrong. I don't know, maybe I should go and fix those before I get too stuck on some of these other things. I did say that I would let my brain follow its whims today. So let's see here. What do I want to do? Let's use my usual method of whatever is bothering me most today. And right then it was the tunnel, which I have largely fixed. But not quite, because now I have this little bit going in the wrong place again. Man, I wish I meshed this better. I really do. Because, let's see, this is kind of the same issue that I was having yesterday. There's this... Let's go to the default here, it's easier to see. But you can see, the area that I call the tunnel is this. Because it just looks like it's a little tunnel with a... like you could ride a little car right through here. Underneath it. So it looks like a little tunnel to me. And then there's the highlight running up this strand here. So you can see there's the big shadow on this side, and there's a little shadow on this side. And then there's the highlight running between them. And it goes up and right through here, right into the tunnel. And you can see here, we have the tunnel, and then we have this little highlight, except it goes pew, and just suddenly changes direction right there. And the reason that is because when I meshed this, I was not very particular about where this path would go. And so you can see that this vertex has a line connecting it to the outside. And thus, what controls this little highlight and the tunnel are the same vertices. And that was a mistake. Truly. So I am somewhat limited in the shapes that I can make the tunnel. Because I do need that highlight to be in roughly the right place relative to the rest of the highlights over here. And if I don't have it there, it's just gonna squirm and make me sad. So those of you interested in learning how to rig, learn from my mistakes. Be more particular in how you mesh your stuff, or at the very least, how you cut your stuff. But this way you don't run into silly problems like this. Okay, this seems okay, and I think it'll be okay, especially... Let me see. Yeah, especially if I move that line of highlight that I was pointing out before. Looks like I can get away with moving it down just a little bit here. Don't want to do it too much, but I think I can get away with just a little bit. Yeah, and that makes it look a little bit less weird too. Cool. Still got one other shenanigan going on with it, in that it's moving a little bit too far to the left. So I just kind of want to push some of these vertices on over. And hopefully get that right. See, I was talking about like working on like 5 different areas or whatever. And here I am, back to this one. That's okay. That's what it means to follow my brain's whims. Just go with whatever it wants to work on at the moment. I don't need to get this done in any particular order. So now I'm just trying to get those little shadows into a good spot. I felt like this bottom row was moving too far down. The top part was fine, but the bottom part was moving a little bit too far down. So I'm bringing it back in a little bit. The highlights tend to be about as far down as I go at the very start here. Sometimes I might go just a little further down, but when it comes to doing stuff around the roots, the highlights are just the last kind of important part. About as far down as I need to go to make sure all of that is looking good. I also want to take some time to make sure the highlights up here are all in the right place. I just felt like they needed to be a little bit closer to the banks there. Okay, now we'll see if I want to make the highlights a little bit longer over there. That's still a decision I have to make. But I do think that I have everything else in a better spot here. Just checking the diagonal, see if everything looks a little bit too squishy, but no, so far so good, I think. I'm still not quite sure if right here's like too low or something. Or if there's something else that's a bit too low. But I just feel like I keep seeing something in that area squirm a little bit. But I don't know what yet. Okay, I have one thought as to what could be causing that bit of squirming. I think it might be in this. This little highlighted strand that always gives me a bit of trouble. I think this one might be responsible for some of the squirming that I am seeing. Alright, I'm going to check with the two cardinals first, just to make sure that I kind of like the way it's looking there. And indeed, it's all good, so let's try the diagonal again. See if this is any better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay. So if I'm going to be worried about what's going on in the diagonal here, I guess I should fix some of the spots that I think look especially bad going down the diagonal, which would indeed be up here. So I want to take a look at how things are lined up vertically. So to do that, I start at the bottom head turn that I did earlier, and then I just slide to the left. And then I see anything that just jumps out at me. This gives me a good idea of whether things are lining up vertically. And then I use over here to see if they're lining up horizontally. And then hopefully when they both line up, everything just works out. That's always the hope, but I do tend to need to change a thing or two on the cardinal directions every time I make a change, so, you know, before I finish. I never quite get it perfect the first time. I do try, though. Try to do as well as I can. It's just that once I start actually working on the corners, I always get just a ton of new information. The information that only the corners themselves can give me. It's especially true when I'm lining up something perfectly with one side, and then I try to line it up with the other side, and it just cannot be done. That is a sure sign that there is an error in one of the cardinal directions somewhere. That I just need to go back and find it and fix it. Just straightening out some triangles while I'm here. Otherwise, I am gonna go and try to get this area that's looks like it's sitting underneath the side bang there, and try to get him looking nice. It's not so bad. It looks like it might be a little bit tricky, but nah, it's all good. Yeah, see, it's already looking much better. I'm just trying to ignore the little bit of squirming that I see up here. Doing my best. Just to make sure that everything really does look the way that I want it to down there. It's one of those things that I might just have to go back and fix once I know a little bit more about how the things around it look. But so far, so good. And that's always been true. I mean, that's why you'll see me adjust things in finished areas as I start working on the areas around it. Just because I notice something that's not quite right. So it needs a little bit of adjustment. Okay. Now I do know that there was a bunch of things bothering me about the side bang, and I'm trying to remember what they were. Because now that I'm looking here, I'm not seeing them quite as strongly. Let's make my life a little bit easier, and we'll do a little bit of funny bald spots for a bit. Just so that I can see what's going on over here a little bit better. Okay, there we go. See, she doesn't look so bad here, but it's like the moment that I go over here. There we go. Now we get some funny stuff. But it's okay. We'll just pretend like those things aren't there. Okay, I guess we can't pretend too hard. They do show in the end. The truth always comes out in the end. This is a little bit lower down than what I'd normally do for a first root pass, but I don't like the angle that this strand is going at, and this is just such a defining location. The way this curves really shows the curvature of the bangs and how they're turning, so I'll make an exception for them. They can be worked on now. Because it's like, yeah, I think even this much has changed the impression quite a bit. And you can see it's all very wrinkly and weird looking, but I want to get it into the right place before I clean it up. Sketch first, details later. Yeah, that's much better. And once again, this is still much, much lower than what I would normally do. But it's kind of bothering me, so I just want to push some of this into place so this way it's not squirming quite as much in my periphery and bothering me. I'm not going to be super particular about it. It can be a bit messy. I'll clean it up when I go do the rest of the hair. But I just want it very, very roughly in place here. And it's fine. This is what my brain has decided that it wants to work on, so here we are. We'll work on it. It's fine. I have to finish every single piece at some point, so there's no particular reason that I can't do it in this order too. I feel like the entire thing is just a little bit too low, so I'm going to grab all of this and just push it up a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. It should be fine. It'll look kind of ugly, but that's fine. I'll clean it up later. Okay, but yes, I think that's doing a bit better. Now let's look a little further up. Let's just pull this. We'll just hide it at the bottom of the screen there. Pretend like it's not there. Put it someplace where I can't see it at all. Okay, the diagonal's not looking quite as bad as it was before. That's good. Oh, very good and even. And I do keep seeing things in this little strand right there. I don't think I'll be able to continue until I get that in the right place, so that's fine. I'll take some time to make sure all is well with him. Okay. Now things there are looking better. I'm still not going to fix up this part here because I'm not totally convinced that it's right. I think it might be trying to fool me. So I want to get some of the other stuff around it totally correct first. And once it all is, then I'll just clean it all up at once. Just gotta be patient and tolerate the weirdness for a little bit. It's one of those things that just kind of comes with the territory with rigging. Things look strange for a while. Just how it is. I'm looking at this highlight here and I'm debating if I like how it moves. So it's like you can see when I push it down, it'll move upward a little bit. And I'm just debating on whether or not I like that. I think it's going to be hard to tell without the rest of the hair going back there. Let's turn some of it on. Here, and where's the last one? There it is. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. How did I do the highlights in the downward turn here? Because I don't see it moving upward that much when I turn this way. But I see it moving upward considerably when I do it like this. Because I know that I made it all steeper through here. I'm gonna call it fine for now. We'll see if I change my mind. Okay, so if this one's fine, how are we doing up here? How do I feel about up there? I remember staring up there for a while and not really seeing anything wrong. So it's possible that the interpolation had my back today and decided to make it look nice. Yeah, only thing that's even a little bit off is just this angle right here. It just needs a little bump. Little spot where it comes up. Yeah, there we go, that's a little bit better. And I guess it needs another little bump right there, where it goes down a little bit. Gotta follow those angles. Right around here. It's not that strong, but just enough to be noticeable. And yeah, that lines up a little bit better with up there too. Most excellent. So a lot of this really is just looking at what's there, and then making sure that the various angles and whatnot are all lining up with each other. Like when I was explaining all the little bumps and stuff going on over here, and how I had to try to keep those angles going the right direction. Alright, so far so good. Let's turn some hair back on. So now I feel like it is time to make a decision about these highlights here. Do I want to make them a little bit longer when her head turns to the left? Do I like that effect? I really think I do. I really, really think I do. So let's go ahead and make those highlights a little bit longer up here too. Just a little bit. I don't want the effect to be too strong. But a little bit of extra length I think will look very pretty with how the head is turning. Let's take a look. Yeah, I like that. I think that's very nice. Gotta pull it down in the upper left too. This is why I wanted to be cautious about changing it, because I knew I'd have to change it in a few places. But fortunately it was actually a pretty easy change, and I was probably getting a little bit anxious about it for no reason. That's just how anxiety works, you know? Your brain magnifies things and tries to convince you that certain things are true when they are not. Brains are silly like that. Yeah. I think that looks pretty nice. Hello, Vivi. Yes, she wiggled quite a lot. I can do a lot of just head flail now. It's not perfect yet. Oh no! Well, thanks for stopping by. Good luck with your phone. Alright. So I guess the next thing that's bothering me is this little light spot here. It's a squirmin'. It's a squirmy little spot. But I think that's a fairly easy squirmer to fix. Just gotta fix the angle up here. Oh no! Yes, that's quite unfortunate. See, these are things I normally have to worry about because I use my phone so rarely that it just sits on my desk permanently plugged into the charger like all the time. So it pretty much always has battery when I need it. So I'm a pleb like that. Well, that, and I also just, do not take electronics to bed. I'd never sleep otherwise. Alright. Much better there. Still got a little bit of weirdness in there, but it's much better than it was. So, I'll take the progress. Okay, so now what's wrong is just that the bottom part there was super, super thick. It's supposed to be very, very skinny. So I wanted to keep the top spot kind of roughly where it was, while making the bottom spot much thinner. Might have overdone it, but nah, we're good. Perfect. And then I just need to fix the angle and whatnot. You know, the usual stuff. A lot of that gets covered up by a hair strand, but I want it kind of roughly in the same place. Just so I don't have to worry about it too much once it gets covered up. So I'm not going to be too particular with it, but it also will help me know where to put that strand. So I want to get a rough idea of what's going on here. Yeah, there we go. I think that's probably good enough. You know what? Let's go do the strand that sits on it right now. See, this is what I meant, and that it would help me figure out where to put this. Because now I can just go whoop, and just put it right on top there. I'm just seeing if the base of it is in the right place before I go and get everything else into the right place. But I believe it is. Yes. Yep, I think that is looking pretty good. So now it's time to go in and really make this all look very nice. Just wanted to lift the whole thing up a little bit there. Kind of sits right on top of this bump in her hair right there. And now it's just a matter of getting all the vertices to space nicely. I don't know, there's probably a little bit more to that. I should make sure that it's all going to the right place. Because I know that it kind of sits on top of a few places. And yeah, it's currently not sitting where it needs to. Man, look at that little guy squirm. It's just all over the place. So this is another case of rough sketch before putting the details in. Actually, I should probably clean up down here too, but it's fine. I'll get this strand first. So I'm just gonna get the rough details on in there. And then I'll worry about cleaning it all up. Right now, the base of this is moving kind of weird. I thought I checked that, but maybe I accidentally pushed some stuff around while I was trying to push the top of this. That does happen sometimes. Alright, I think I have the base in the right spot. Let's actually zoom in a little bit. I'm not actually sure if I like that. Okay, this might be a case where something is in the wrong place. Because I got it to line up here, and now it's not lining up with here. How is it on the diagonal? Yeah, this seems right here, so that probably means I need to adjust the left turn a little bit here. Okay, let's see here. What is not moving quite right here? It's like it's getting a little bit higher on the lower turn, which is definitely not right. Okay, I think I see the issue. I think I need to make the little bump right here just a little bit taller in the left head turn. And by doing so, that'll let me lift this up a little bit. And that will hopefully let that strand line up with the downward turn now. Ah, yes, much better. One of those small things, but I think it was pretty noticeable, especially since this little strand here is like right in the middle. It's right in the middle, it's easy to see, and I'm going to want it to wiggle when I add hair physics, so I want to make sure it's all in the right place. It's gonna wiggle so much. I'm so excited for hair physics. I get a little bit closer to being able to do hair physics every day, and it's great. Just gotta finish all these head turns. Oh man, I just look at it, I'm just like, head turns might actually be done soon. That's so weird to think about, that I will just no longer be attacked by hair all the time. I'll be able to work on something else, and it'll be great. Alright, I think that strand is in a good spot, so I'm gonna zoom in and clean it all up. Make it all look very pretty. Gonna have a very nice strand, so it can swing around and swoosh with physics. So let's see here. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to get the thickness that I want, taking a look at the nearby turns in order to get an idea of how thick each strand should be. And where some of these vertices should be. It might actually be easier just to consult the mesh. Spread things out based on that. It's like I could go based off of what the strand looks like, but it's fine. It's easier just to ask the mesh for help. That way I don't have to think as hard. I just look at the way all the pretty triangles are moving, and I'm just like, yes. That triangle must be adjusted like this. Kind of alternating between checking the mesh on the left turn versus the bottom turn. I think combining both of them will give me the result I want here. Right now I'm kind of just focused on getting the strand to be nice and straight, you know, curve where I want it, and not have all these little wrinkly bits. Alright, let's take a look, because I think that's looking pretty good. Just looking at the art, at least. Yeah. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Let's go straighten up the strand over here now, before I forget again. There's just so much hair, it's so easy to get distracted by each little piece. So very easy to get distracted. But it's alright. The problem will continue to show itself until I look at it and I'm like, ah, yes, I need to fix that. It won't go away until I do it, so even if I get distracted, eventually I'll find my way back. And all will be well. Okay, there we go. Looking much neater there. Let's make sure I kept everything where it belonged. Yes, I think so. Let's see. Do I like... You can see here, it kind of curves in at that point. And here I have it curving out. So I have to decide which is wrong. Which of these spots do I need to fix? And I think it's this one, actually. I think right here is where it needs to be fixed. Assuming I ever find the correct layer. Alright, there we go. So I'll just curve it out here just very slightly. Kind of give it the same shape as how it's going to look on the one below it. The turn below it, that is. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Does it still look good over here? If anything, I think it looks better. Excellent. Okay, I think the bottom of this might actually still be coming a little bit too low. So I'll go ahead and push that up a little bit. That does mean I'll have to fix that curve again, but that's fine. We're gonna leave this a little bit nebulous, just because I don't actually know how far up I want to be pushing these things yet. But at the very least, I think I fixed, like, the worst of the stuff that I saw that was making the diagonal look bad. So hopefully I should be able to use it going forward to help me to figure out where things need to go. Yeah, there we go. I think we're looking pretty good. So, next time I guess it'll be time to go work on the stuff in the back. Because I do think that I will be stopping here for today. And hopefully once I fix some of those things happening in the back, the diagonal will be even more reliable. But for now, I think I will stop here. So, thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on the social media platform of your choice, and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.